Now, speaking of brilliant doctors, earlier this year I was privileged to meet and interview a doctor named Daniel Newsom. Dr. Newsom has 7 doctorates. He teaches at 4 different medical schools. He's a toxicologist and also an osteopath. Some of this information that he's about to share is going to blow your socks off. Check it out. Talk about the relationship of fulvic acid in treating cancer.
Okay, very good. Fulvic acid. Fulvic acid is the end product of decomposition of organic matter. Okay, as I think a compost. Okay, as compost breaks down, okay, it ends up in this black soil. Okay, that's
good
the
stuff.
product. Good stuff. And the reason it's good stuff is that decomposition. You took 50 pounds of waste, okay, and it decomposed down to 5 pounds of, say, of soil. What you have there in that soil is the nutrition of 50 pounds of waste, all concentrated down into that soil. Well, there's things called humic shale. They're deposits all around the world, and what they are is deposits of, well, somehow at some point in history there were massive forests that got thousands of tons of dirt dumped on them, followed by thousands of gallons of water. And in certain places they got so much dirt dumped on them that they got pushed lower into the crust, and that the amount of pressure they were under caused that biomass to convert into petroleum. Other places it was much closer to the surface, and the microbes in the soil, the bacteria and all the different microbes in the soil, acted on that biomass, all this covered forest, okay, and decomposed it. Okay. And what we have left over from that is humic shale, and it's basically the compost soil. Okay? Okay. What we do is we take that and we extract fulvic acid. Now, fulvic acid is the absolute smallest particle of that compost, if you will. Okay? It has all the genetic information, all of the nutrition, all of the antioxidant capacity. Okay? Fulvic acid, the molecule of fulvic acid, has 14 tetratrillion electrons it can donate.
Tetratrillion.
That's 21 zeros behind 14.
That's a number you can't fathom.
It's unfathomable. One molecule has that many electrons to donate.
And that's one of the problems with free radicals.
Sure. It is a free radical quencher. And it's so tiny that it works on the outside of the cell, works on the inside of the cell, and works on the various components of the cell. Most importantly, it works in the mitochondria, the generator of the cell, the power generator for the cell, okay? In the Krebs cycle, the energy cycle that the mitochondria has to go through to produce cellular energy, ATP, carbohydrate is split, okay? You have a carbon and hydrogen bond that is split, okay? And when that happens, energy is released in the mitochondria, produce ATP. ATP goes out to the rest of the cell does its job. Problem is, when that happens, you have a carbon fragment and a hydrogen fragment. Okay. And those are called free radicals. Okay, we call them cellular debris, free radicals. In essence, it's kind of like if you had a wood stove and you burnt wood in there for a week and never clean the ash out. Eventually the wood's full of ash and you can't burn anything. Yep. That's what happens with our cells and causes them to die. Okay, they have so many fragments of nutrients floating around in them that it snuffs the cell out. It can't burn anymore. Okay, you can't metabolize anymore. Fulvic acid goes into the cell and can convert all of those fragments of nutrients back into nutrition. Wow. It's some cool stuff.
That's very cool stuff.
Very cool stuff.
I've never heard of that before.
And nothing else does that, is the thing. So we can, it's an anti-aging agent, okay? It's an antioxidant agent. It's a molecule that will carry electricity, okay? So it acts as an electrolyte in your cell. without minerals. It's one of the, it's a phenomenon.
It is.
It's a phenomenon. And when you're feeling tired, okay, when you're tired and you just ran down, you just don't have a lot of energy, on a cellular level, your cells aren't carrying an electrical charge very well. So if we can recharge the battery, quote unquote, all of a sudden you have energy again. You know, things start functioning the way they should. They have the electricity to operate. Okay.
And our bodies are electric.
They're electric, exactly. Now, this whole function here of enhancing the electrical capacity, converting free radicals back into nutrition is all wonderful, but fulvic acid also acts as a delivery system. Okay, when you can bond nutrients to fulvic acid, and it will deliver those nutrients. It's a nanomolecule. It's a micro nanomolecule, actually. It's smaller than nano. Okay. Therefore, it crosses all barriers in the body. Blood-brain barrier, everything. Okay. Everything. And it can carry nutrients to whatever tissue, whatever cells, wherever you need them to go. Deliver the nutrients. The interesting thing about it, though, is once it delivers the nutrients, it will take the waste or heavy metals or pesticides or you name it, anything that the cell doesn't want or anything that's harming the cell, pick that up. It'll bond that let's say mercury to fulvic acid and carry it out of the system. Okay. So you get this exchange that happens there. So I tell everybody it acts as the UPS man and the garbage man at the same time.
Wow.
Delivers its package, picks up the garbage, and takes it out. So when it comes to the cancer cells have very low electrical activity. So if we can raise their electrical activity, which fulvic acid does, we kill them. We kill high electrical activity kills cancer cells. Here's everyone in history that had cancer at the moment they were hit by lightning. Everyone that survived lightning strikes that had cancer didn't have cancer after they were hit by lightning.
No kidding.
No kidding. Across the board, every cancer patient that
because that electrical energy
killed the cancer.
And so that's what fulvic acid does.
Fulvic acid has that that electrolyte capacity to raise the electrical activity in the cells, and it destroys cancer cells that way. We also have the capacity of removing the waste, delivering the nutrition. Okay, that's not to mention, depending on the fulvic acid you're getting, our fulvic acid is high in carbon, high in hydrogen, and high in oxygen, and so we go back to what I first started talking about. This is how we use fulvic acid for balancing that 96.3% of our body's composition.
Wow.
We use that in conjunction with diet, with water, with all these other things, and everything just happens faster. We can get them well faster with the fulvic acid. I believe God knew we were going to mess up things here, and He pre-programmed into the mix this humic shale that is so rich in fulvic acid, and just was to discover it so we could use it to fix things. In my family, my wife has taken fulvic acid through every pregnancy. We have extremely healthy children. I've been using and researching fulvic acid since 1996. I've had upwards of 8,000 patients take this, and we've only had good results.
8,000 patients?
Never had any trouble. My children take it every day.
Okay.
We live on this planet, so we're going to be exposed to this environment. And for me, for my children, I want to protect them as much as possible, and so my children we give them the fulvic every day.
Why is it that more people haven't heard about these natural treatments for cancer?
First off, the practitioners have been the doctors have been persecuted so horribly, they're afraid to advertise. You know, they're afraid to put their hands up saying, okay, we're over here, it's working. You know, they're afraid to do that for fear of being squashed, you know, or attacked. That is, first and foremost, I mean, they don't advertise because they're afraid of getting attacked, number one. So therefore, people don't hear about it. Number two, media does not cover it. You know, media has no coverage of what's happening there.
Not to interrupt you here, but a perfect example is that a while back we had the CDC story of the vaccines, the MMR vaccine being definitively linked, the whistleblower,
right.
autism, and where was the media coverage?
Zero. You know, those folks trying to get the story out were even, I mean, they're even under fire for doing that. You
right.
know? That's the problem. You know, the politics of medicine are keeping people from getting better. Is the problem.
When you say the politics of cancer, kind of elaborate on that. What do you mean by that?
How do we make the maximum amount of money on cancer? That's the politics. Bottom line is money. Bottom line, if the pharmaceutical companies cannot patent a treatment, okay, they can't maximize their income on it. They can't maximize their profit shares, okay? Therefore, it doesn't behoove them to use those types of remedies, you know? And if you could sell a medication to a patient to keep them alive, okay, maybe extend their life, keep them alive, not make them healthy, but extend their life. You know, every month that they have to buy that medication is another sale you made. Okay,
right.
This is the business of medicine. That's how it works. And
Yeah.
it's unfortunate. I mean, medicine is as much a business as it is a practice anymore, and it's a shame.